Back on Inside Tennessee, and I'll get to our panel in just a second, but for our viewers, we want you to understand that this is Knox County, and there are 7 House districts that represent the almost 500,000 people in this county. You see how they're divvied up here. This is a new one. This is District 90. It's a new district. We'll talk about that in a second, but you see it cuts through downtown, goes all the way out west here. Just for some perspective, this is the Tennessee River. What I want to focus on right now with our panel is this district. It's District 18. You see that it includes some of South Knoxville as well as the west part of Knoxville as well. Who has this seat now? No one. It is open. Eddie Manis. Let's take it full and give you a better look at it. He is out of office, not running for another term. But there are 2 people who want to see his seat. And panel, let's start there. Elaine Davis, someone we know well, is running as the Republican. Greg Kaplan running as a Democrat in this race. It's hotly contested. John North, any other perspective or background that our viewers need to know?
Well, a couple things. It's interesting that South Knoxville is now sort of in the conversation with that district. That makes it kind of interesting. As you said, Eddie is done after his term ends, so we will have a brand new lawmaker. I think some people are thinking this will be a very competitive race because parts of that area are turning more blue, if you will, are becoming more competitive for Democrats. We saw that it's sort of in a micro version, perhaps, with the school board race. Will that still apply Tuesday night? I don't know.
Susan, anything about this race in particular you think is one to watch as we head into Election Day?
Well, I do think this is one that's going to be closer than maybe people have thought it would be. Elaine has a lot of support from the conservatives in town, not so much from the moderate Republicans. And so there has been some talk about that. However, I think she's going to win. I think she's probably going to win by 5 or 6 points. It is a Republican district. Yes, you're right. It is becoming a little bit more purple than it has been in the past, but it's still a Republican district, and I think you're going to see a fairly good turnout. Elaine's knocking on doors a lot, and I think she's going to get those voters to the polls.
Don, Democrats right now control 2 of those districts. This is a chance to take a third.
This would be a pickup, and this would be big. I actually think it's going to be very close, and I think the Democrats have a good chance, actually, of winning it. Remember, this district is largely composed of city voters. It does stretch out in south, and it does stretch out in west. But the city in Knoxville and Knox County, the city votes blue. Let's face it. We can see it in our city council. We can see it in our mayors. And although it's nonpartisan, everybody knows who is what party. And so Elaine is a known quantity, but she sure, and I'm not going to pin it maybe directly on Elaine, but people supporting Elaine have run some horrific ads, some very distasteful things about her opponent. And it's troubling, and it may come back to bite her. Susan's right. She's up a little bit in the polls. She's known in this community, and it's going to be close, but I think the Dems could pick it up.
I also want to move to District 90 with you. This is a new district. Again, it's part of redistricting, as John mentioned, the state legislature redrawing that based on the census every 10 years. District 90 is essentially open, though incumbent Representative Gloria Johnson is someone that would retain that seat, if you will. What do you make of that race right now?
Again, I don't know that we're going to ever see many contested races that are going to be anything but close, and that's good, particularly again when they skew towards Knoxville City proper. I think Gloria wins. I think it's going to be close. She's a fighter. We've seen it. We've seen her win elections that she's won, lost, and come back and won again. David Posey has presented well. He's presented well on this show. He's new to politics. He's worked hard also, but I still think at the end of the day, people know Gloria and the district will support her. The district doesn't skew very differently from her old district that she got sort of moved around out of.
Susan, how focused are the Republicans in saying, hey, this may be a chance for us?
Very. I've spoken to the Speaker of the House, who's obviously very engaged with this race, as well as with Elaine Davis's. But in the polling, what I've seen, it's about 50-50 right now. It's totally a toss-up. Now, you're going to see in the next few days a lot of television and a lot of radio advertising for David and against Gloria. And so I think this is one that It's all going to depend on who goes to the polls on election day, who gets out their votes.
John North, as Susan's mentioning, typically we have seen a majority of the votes cast in early voting, and Susan's talking about this wash of ads that we'll likely see in the coming days. Give us your take on kind of the influence of that when typically we do see the majority of voters now voting early.
I think that's going to hold true. I think that'll still be the case. I talked to Chris Davis this week, and he said he's expecting about 50,000 to turn out on Tuesday. So we will have around 60,000 who will have voted early. That's what we were thinking, so just another 50 on Tuesday probably.
That'd be about a third or so of people voting. 30% would be good. Election Administrator Chris Davis. We're going to be back with more of our conversation with the panel, getting you set for Election Day, again, coming up this week right here on Inside Tennessee.